Hello, Lisa, to all the community, good afternoon. The COVID situation in the department is very critical. In dialogue with Teleislas News, the Secretary of Health and also the Director of DSA, Hilary Rodriguez, was telling to Teleislas News and also to the community that in occupation COVID is soon get to 100%. Shot at 2 bed only for the occupation COVID get to 100%, and also hospitalization, they're in a 24 bed occupied from 25 bed available. So the invitation for the community is to take care of yourself.
The ICU occupancy is practically at 100%. It is at 96% currently.
We have right now 88% occupation. We only have 2 beds available, and during this day it is possible that then 2 beds get occupied too, so we'll reach 100% occupation. The situation is really delicate. It is really delicate for all of us inside the hospital.
We also speak with Yvette Charles. She's a doctor who is also in charge of the 3rd floor, the COVID floor here in the departmental hospital. And she said that the range of age with the people coming in at the hospital with COVID is not as how we feel like. People between 30-35 years until 60-65 years, like the person where they're in at the 3rd floor and will present very difficulties in our health.
We have already seen a lot of young people under the age of 60, which is actually where the range of patients is from. The majority are people from 35 to 65 years old. Usually there are some older people, but they are the minority, and some without associated diseases.
According to Hilary Rodriguez, the government, the departmental government, should apply some measurements, some very important measurements for the community, and for this not to get out of control, because surely today in the evening, the 2 beds them was shot for COVID, for UC COVID, one get occupied. Them 2 beds, so surely for today we will have the 100%.
And a few minutes ago, the Governor Everett Hawkins Green confirmed that the occupancy of the ICU in the hospital department is 100% already occupied. So this evening in our 8 o'clock central broadcast, we will be giving more information, being that they will be giving strict measures biosecurity. And we continue with more information in Teleislas News. Since Saturday, the fire department is attending the emergency of the Magic Garden Sanitary Landfill Fire that started at midday in an alarming manner. It is worth remembering that due to the magnitude of the fire, help from other entities was requested to be able to control it. Teleislas News spoke with the chief of the fire department, Willie Gordon, who told us how this work is progressing.
Hoy lunes todavía nos encontramos allá. Queda muchísimo trabajo por hacer.
Today, Monday, we are still at the landfill. There is still a lot of work to do. We are removing material with heavy machinery, and we have 2 lines cooling laterally and several lines attacking directly where we still have flames. This is going to take many days. We have to remove all that material that is with high temperature, cool it, and then we will be able to say that we are going to move forward to the termination phase or close the emergency.
Gordon emphasized that even though it was possible to control the surface fire, to eradicate the fire completely will take a lot of work and use of resources.
This will take many days. Initially, we had a superficial fire, and now we have a deeper fire, underground fire, where we have to reach those heat sources that we have buried there, and we have to be very patient. It will take us a lot of water, a lot of resources, and a lot of work to finish and close the emergency in the Magic Garden.
It should be noted that today there are no hypotheses or investigations to clarify what would have caused the incident.
And Governor Everett Hawkins visited the Magic Garden Sanitary Landfill to see that firsthand the operation of the site, and especially the urban solid waste or USW plant, where they learned about the energy contribution to the island through the treatment of waste.
The governor said that the urban solid waste plant is a great and huge contribution to the environmental issue, that it is an energy support that is contributing to the department.
Hoy existe unas plantas que están seleccionando.
There are some plants that are selecting ferrous materials plastics, among others, to be used in the RCU. This did not happen many years ago. They are generating about 1,000 kilowatts of energy. Maybe it is not very impacting for the energy field, but it is a very big and huge contribution to the environmental issue.
It is also worth mentioning that in the landfill there is a special space for waste from Old Providence, which contributes to the operation of these plants.
La empresa Interaseo ha venido haciendo y con la visita que hemos hecho con la superintendente.
Together with the Superintendents of Public Services and the Vice Ministry of Water, we have made an inspection to know firsthand how it is going. It gives us peace of mind to make sure things are well, since this is the continuation of our development plan, all for a new beginning, together with the national government headed by Ivan Duque.
Finally, the governor said that the next step is to farm an environment and economic activity based on the use of this waste and recycling.
And in other news, one of the criminals that appear on the most wanted list of the national police was captured in the neighborhood of El Cliff. On the other hand, a woman who was carrying drugs in her privates was captured at the airport.
Hello Lisa and all the televiewers, we are here by the police station where the Colonel Maria Elena Gomez Mendez give information about 2 new captures in the island. Here are the facts. For the first capture, the Colonel informed that the capture is Fanor Monroy Olivo, 25 years old, who was wanted for attempted homicide against police officers who were carrying out an operation in the Cliff neighborhood, also for carrying and trafficking firearms and domestic violence.
We have already captured the first person. We were able to individualize him, collect enough material evidence, and one of them, alias Fanner, who is part of this cartel, was captured during the last few days on the island in the Cliff neighborhood. This capture was carried out by the Special Operations Group, the GOES, with intelligence and judicial police personnel.
On the other hand, a woman was captured with marijuana by the airfield.
A capture that took place on Sunday at the airport, where a woman was arrested coming from Medellin on a Viva Air flight, who was carrying 456 grams of marijuana. It was packed in a cylindrical tube that the woman had inserted in her private parts to try to bring the drug to the island.
Okay, Lisa and all the televiewers on Teleislas News, this was Gisela Livingston. Have a good afternoon.
And a group of tourists who visit the island every year brought joy to 300 children who were presented with school kits in the company of the Caribbean Air Force.
2 educational institutions of the department received the donation of school kits by a couple of tourists who visit the island every year. They donated these items to the children of the department. The Colombian Air Force was responsible for transporting these kits to the island.
What a great emotion to be able to come to San Andres. This has now become a noble cause, and yes, to see the smiles of girls and boys. Logically, this year was not like the previous year by the COVID-19. In spite of that, we are still doing something protocolary, and we feel that we have to do something to contribute, even if it's minute, to the island.
Una emoción inmensa.
It is an immense joy to do this. It fills our hearts to be able to put our grain of sand. How nice it would be to be able to do more, but this is a grain of sand that we're giving with all of our heart, and it really fills us with joy.
Bags, notebooks, colors, even computers and printers were part of the items delivered to the institution and their students.
Well, this kit will be very important for our students because it is well known that our parents in this situation, some of them, they are passing a very hard time. So these elements will support the process of learning of our students, and then we will be getting it to the one them that is most needed. And well, we are just very thankful to all the people that have this possible for our children.
To be honest, I feel really good. It is cool because this will help us in our classes. Thank you very much.
The Air Force will transport another batch of school kits brought by this tourist couple to the island of Old Providence in the month of June.
And Teleislas News visited the site of the house that was burned down near the Big Pond to find out how the aid is progressing and the current situation of the families.
Good evening, Lisa and all the TV viewers. I say hello from here, from the sector of the lagoon, of the Big Pond Lagoon. We are here specifically by the place where 2 families lose their house due to the fire 4 days ago. 2 families will lose everything after them did they sleep and then wake up by the fire. We talked to Nashira Nelson, the owner of the house, who telling us up to know what they receive and how they feel after this tragedy.
We wait for the government or
Well, then tell we don't want to send them this evening, so we don't wait. We don't wait and we don't trust in and say then help we more. At least we can get back as even little bit of what we got before, but we get plenty help. The carpet them that Miss Elizabeth J. Pan bring them, and well, we thank she a lot.
It is important to mention that they have them a tent where they give them, but they're not secure on the floor, so they still move with the breeze, they still move with the rain. So they are expecting to somebody can go help them, so they can secure and so they can pass and live right here, so after they don't lose them house.
We don't wait more and all for the government pronounce and well for them tell we something else. As you can see, we get 2 carpa, the 2 family get 2 carpa, and we don't wait for them tell we then come fix the carpa because then give we 2 carpa, and my Bestina husband, him sleep in a one himself because they can't hold in the room when my sister give them for the Ina. They have 4 kids. I only got 2, and one of my is apart from me, and I have my little girl with me. Well, my carpa I don't get to sleep in there at all because it move plenty. It move plenty and the breeze blow well last night for me. The things them when got in there, I had to take it out and carry it over by my mama because when they wet up.
It is important to mention that it's 2 families that lose everything. The house was divided in 2, and it's 2 families, one with 4 picnic and Nashira, we had her daughter, they live here. So everybody they expect to go ahead with all the help them for them. Your family can go ahead and pass this tragedy what happened 4 days ago. This is all information I report from here from the Big Bang Lagoon. Continue listening studio with more information.
Thank you, Alice. And on a trip to the municipality of Old Providence and Santa Catalina, Teleislas News was able to see from a helicopter how the reconstruction, care and repair of housing in the municipality is progressing. Here we tell you all about it.
This is how the municipality looks from the sky. The reconstruction of Old Providence and Santa Catalina is progressing slowly but surely. The progress of the repairs in Old Providence can be seen from the skies. There are many houses and roofs buildings that can be seen. The military forces are working non-stop on roofing and repairing houses with low damage or those that only last their roof. According to the Admiral Hernando Matos Dodger, the National Navy has helped with the repair of about 100 houses.
Although we are not going as fast as we would like, I think we are advancing slowly but very well. And not only that, this house that you see here on this block where we are located right now in Batam House, we are building 8 new houses that will be approximately in about 2 months. We can see that I think this is going to be one of the most beautiful blocks of the island with 8 houses being repaired. In addition, we are also working on the construction of the roofs. As you could see, we have advanced approximately 60%.
In a tour of the island, this journalistic host witnessed the hard work of the military forces that every day get up to repair the houses of the community in this municipality.
At the moment, we have approximately 135. I do not have correctly the figure or have it clearly, but there are 135 houses that the group of the National Army has been working on.
Regarding the reconstruction of the houses, the first model house has already been unveiled in the sector of Batam House. People will be able to visit from Monday to Friday from 4 in the evening to 7 in the evening.
And now let's get to know other facts that are making news in our brief news sections of today.
The Tourism Protection Group of the National Police conducted over the weekend control work to hotels and lodges on the island in order to verify that they are complying with the required legal documentation enforced for the provision of its service, and thus ensure the welfare and rights that tourists have when purchasing these services in the archipelago department. As part of World Bird Day, the Corporation for the Sustainable Development of the Archipelago of San Andres, Old Providence, and Santa Catalina Coralina developed an educational activity at the Old Point Regional Park with young people from various educational institutions. The activity sought to encourage bird watching and the protection of these species and their habitat. Governor Everett Harkins visited the Magic Garden Sanitary landfill to learn about the operation of the site and the RCU plant, where he learned about the contribution of energy for the island through the treatment of waste, as well as the organization and distribution of the waste that arrives at the site as a final disposal point. The inspection also included the participation of Vice Ministry of Water and Basic Sanitation and employees of Inter-Aseo.